technical slack yesterday. We had to postpone the live session with Vijay Fastnap today. So the CEO of Fastnap, Vijay, will be joining me soon. So I'm going to have one-on-one interaction with him. I'm going to be talking my lockdown duties, or what I'm doing at home, or how I'm spending my lockdown time. And I hope I'm audible today and there's no issue as such. Hi Aming, hi everyone, hi Saisha, hello. Yeah, I hope I'm audible, good and loud and clear.
Hey,
Hi Vijay.
I hope things are good now. I think you are a perfect opener, I would say. I heard you speak and it was fantastic. You engaging with your fans and people who actually look up to you.
Thank you so much.
Should we get started for the next half an hour?
Yes, for sure. People have been waiting eagerly. We've already made them wait 24 hours. I think we don't have to make them wait anymore.
Sure. So I think for people who have joined, Satyan needs no further introduction. Top Indian table tennis player, world number 24 at one point of time, which was the highest ever Indian to be ranked at that level. Arjuna awardee. What more to say? So Satyan, quickly on to the questions. So how do you manage time now?
Well, I mean, time is something which was always a luxury for me, but I think that's the best part now. I've got some time to spend on my own. So I'm trying to, venture into new activities like yoga and stuff. And of course, I lost my habit of reading books after engineering. So I'm coming back to this of reading books and getting to spend time at my own house. I mean, that itself is a luxury for me. So I'm trying to get familiar with my own house, new house, and spending time with mother. So I really like this very much new venture, I would say.
Great. So let us actually get back for people who don't know about you, just to understand, when did you start table tennis? What age would that be?
Well, I was very, very small kid. I started at the age of 5. So, myself and my sister, Rekha, started playing table tennis. We joined in a very nearby table tennis center, and we are the first generation from our family with zero background. So my mom just wanted us to be fit and put in any sport, and table tennis happened to be accident because the center started close to our house, and that's how I first held my table tennis racket in my hand.
So 5 years would have been maybe first standard or so.
Yeah.
Around that time.
I think I was getting promoted from UKG to first standard, I guess.
And how old are you now?
Well, I'm 27.
So that is around 22 years of actually playing table tennis.
That sounds quite long. Yeah, come a long way playing table tennis.
So this question would be interesting to a lot of people who probably are seeing this. At what age did you actually start realizing that you can actually be competitive?
Yes, it was actually fun starting very good in the sport, and I was posing more problems to my family on saying which I should go professional or I was also good in studies. But I think as far as personal thing is concerned, probably after the Commonwealth Youth Games when in 2008 in Pune, I think that was the moment probably I felt that I can make it big in the sport. And when I was just 15, so I think that was the first thoughts I got. I can probably make it big and be professional in the sport.
So would it be safe to say that from the age of 5 to 15, you actually played and worked hard for the passion of the game, right? You had to put in that hard work. Is that safe to say for the viewers?
Yes, I mean, you have to keep continuing putting your hard work even after, of course, you become a professional. But yes, I think I would say, sorry for that.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. There's some issue with the camera. Yes, I think I would say I really love the sport, be it without winning or everything. I was just into the sport too much, and it was so much fun. I have 10 years and 20 years, and I'm still that crazy about the sport as I was 5 years old.
Okay. So again, for people who are listening to you, I'm just talking about that age frame that you talked about. There must be thousands of people playing table tennis in India, right? Youngsters who are playing in every part of the country, in every city. I mean, is table tennis something which they can actually build a career on, a future on, or what is the position right now?
Definitely, I think sports has gained that freedom, or I would say become a profession now from an extracurricular activity. So if you had asked me the same question 10 years back, probably I would have hesitated a little bit. But I think that's why my parents also hesitated when I had to take engineering up. But I think right now it's the best scenario for sports, and people, a lot of public sector are coming in, a lot of corporates, of course, are coming in like Fasten Up, and everyone are becoming close with athletes. So I think this is the best scenario for sports, and table tennis being it's one of the most fastest rising sports in our country.
Sure.
I'm sure everyone will agree with that. Not only Sharad or not only me, you can see a lot of youngsters coming up. You can see there is a lot of potential for India becoming a superpower, and I feel definitely it's much more worthwhile to take up sport and do that pathway.
Yeah. So let us go back to your training when you were growing up at the age of 15 to 20 and even beyond, right? What is your normal training session? Yesterday, when we had a brief call, you talked about your strength and conditioning being helped by Ramji Srinivasan, who is himself a renowned SNC fitness trainer in the country. So what all do you do during a day when you actually start training?
Okay, you want me to do the lockdown schedule or in a
not the lockdown? I mean, I'm saying prior to your lockdown in a normal, when things were normal, without revealing too much of your secrets, obviously, but what all do you do? How do you compartmentalize your training schedule? How many sessions? What all do you do so that viewers can actually learn from you?
Yes, frankly, I was a person from my childhood days. I would still regret that I didn't have that exposure. I was not doing fitness, but I realized when I went outside playing tournaments how important fitness is, how fit the other athletes were from other countries. And that's when, after 16, 17 is when I started giving more importance to fitness. That's when actually Ramji sir also came into the picture, and he gave me a very customized training. So we make a fitness plan according to a game. So first people need to realize why we do fitness. It's just about to get better in the game. So it's important to have a customized plan. So he made a detailed testing on me on which aspects of strength or agility where I lack, and which exercise or which muscles need to be worked. And then he put up a plan. So I work 6 days a week. Around 1 hour every day in the morning is the best time, I would say, for exercising. So we have like 2 strength sessions with less weights and more reps kind of strength session, which will really also not make you very bulky, but give you that enough strength to hit some powerful shots, and focus was more on reaction, speed and agility, and of course on the balance and stability. So he puts down all these areas of focus spread over 6 days, and we keep reviewing it every 3 weeks. We have a testing done every month, and then he shares it with my personal coach Raman sir. And of course the sessions has to be scheduled along with your fitness regime. So when you have a very hard session, it's really important that you taper down your table tennis session, and then it goes hand in hand.
Okay, so you talked about having all the 6 days, you have some form of strength session which is incorporated, right?
Yeah.
That is one session. So how many sessions in a day do you have normally?
Normally, it's about off season and during season also. When we don't have the luxury of off season now with the packed schedule, but then we try to squeeze in where you have some not many tournaments. That time probably I will go for 2 sessions sometimes. Also 2 sessions of fitness, also on alternate days. Like for example, I go Monday 2 sessions, and then Wednesday 2 sessions, and then Friday 2 sessions. The rest of the day 1 session of fitness. So I'll give more importance to fitness there when I have some time, to improve improve on my fitness quotient.
Sure.
But otherwise, when it's peak season or when it's ongoing season, it's important to keep the stability and to keep the fitness going. That's when I have just one session of fitness, and I'll do some serves after that, and then I play in the evening session as well.
Okay, so basically, it might be 2 to 3 sessions in a day, depending upon whether it's season, off-season kind of thing.
Yeah, so there's one session for sure. Otherwise, if it's on peak season or if it's an off season, it can be 2 sessions of fitness, and additionally there will be table tennis. So there will be easily 3 sessions a day normally every day.
Okay, great. So let us talk a little bit about your actual table tennis skills itself. I know I've met Mr. Raman once. I think he has himself been a top-notch table tennis player for India. So I'm sure that actually helps. How did that relationship come about, and what is the role of a coach when it comes to you?
I think the role of the coach is very immense and very important for an athlete because there's a difference between a player coaching and a coach actually coaching. So if I am going to put into coaching just now, I will think on what I will be doing there, you know. So that's not a coach supposed to do. A coach has to think what a player or what a ward can actually be able to do there. So that's what I think Raman sir nailed it spot on, and he could really grasp on what things I could improve. He saw that fire in me, he used to always say, and I think he focused on areas where I could bring up good success or good amount of improvement very fast. And it was in 2012, I think in Egypt Open. That was the first interaction with me and Raman sir, and then I went on to win my first ever Pro Tour Under 21 title in Egypt out of nowhere. So I mean, I was not even the favorite, and I was dumbstruck with the tactics he came on, with the game plan he did, and you know, it not only surprised the opponent, it surprised me itself. So I think how can one person could think out of the box like this, and that's when I decided I need to, you know, probably start training with him. I approached him, and after that it's been a beautiful journey coming all the way. It's been almost 8 years of traveling, and I think he transformed my game into a very passive and to an aggressive player, and I've become.
Yeah, great. So two questions connected to that coaching aspect. One is, did he choose you or you chose him? How did that happen?
Oh, both chose, both of them. But yes, I would say he was also pretty impressed with the way I was speaking. So it was just meant to happen, I would say. And I was also very much interested. I went to him, of course. I was the one who went to him, but I felt like he was just waiting. He said he without hesitation, he really agreed, because that's the time he didn't start up with a center or he didn't have a proper infrastructure. We just started up in a very small hall with just one table facility, just focus on me. Now it's become Raman TT High Performance Center, and I've come a long way. But that time we just started off with a small one table center, and I was really happy that even having a job in Indian Oil, he came up with this time, and now he's full-time coach.
Sure. So the other question that a lot of youngsters, table tennis players, typically in every sport would go through is, especially when it comes to coaching, they want immediate results, right? You go to a coach and then you tell him, I mean, even if it's Raman sir or, you know, some of the greats, you think that it's a shortcut to success, right? Okay. I mean, is there any advice that you want to give your fellow table tennis players? I mean, when you go to a coach, what time frame do you give for the relationship to blossom?
Yes, I keep telling parents, especially when I just want to ask one question: if a kid can be promoted from a 5th standard to 8th standard directly, how brilliant he is. That's not possible, right? So that's what I tell them. When you have the patience in school, like, you know, so you'll have to have the patience in sport, which is very important. So for table tennis being a very technical sport, it takes a lot of time. Of course, the science has advanced quite a lot, and people have started improving. But it's really important that you focus on the techniques. And people ask me, Satyen, all of a sudden just came into limelight. Nothing happens all of a sudden. We worked from 2012, and I came into the Indian team in 2014. So it almost took 2 years, even though I was already established player in the junior team. It took 2 years for me to come into the Indian team in 2014. I really focused on the techniques, which was my, not my strong point, I would say. And that is when I think it really comes. I would say if you want to be a national player, state national player, probably it takes around 5 years. And then it becomes on how fast you take it. So it's not about time, it's about what quality you put in. So here it doesn't important. The important factor is not the quantity, the time factor, but the quality you put in. Then you get the results faster here.
Understood. So again, this question is very important. I mean, important with respect to you, because obviously you talked about a long time span. After which you actually reach the national level or international level. How strong are you mentally? Have you ever assessed yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 and seen where is Satyan at the mental level?
Yes. In general, my teammates really appreciate me of my mental energy and mental focus and mental strength. I would say I was very determined, even though I lost quite a lot of years in engineering. Then, I came back into limelight. It took some time for me. 2014, the national scene. 2000, when I was getting better, I lost the Commonwealth Games selection in 2014. Then 2015, my dad passed away. I think that really made me a beast, I would say. I just put everything on the table, and I was more mentally stable. And it was important to give challenges to your mind. So that is what I think keeps your mind more active. And I would say I'm improving. No athlete is above everyone or above mentally 100%, but I'm really working on the mental aspects, and I feel I'm much better and improved athlete on the mental aspect compared to 5 years back.
Great. I see probably Raman sir has joined, so probably listening to you. So there was a question where, I wanted to ask this. Is there a way you can improve your mental fitness or mental strength?
Yes, very much. I think it's really important that you assess yourself on how breathing is a very important aspect, to control your calmness, to assess yourself. So meditation is one kind of thing. And of course, there are a lot of habits which you can develop. Like I can share a secret to my viewers and to yourself when I said there's been this, there is always people like to keep playing when you're winning, and they want to take a break when you're losing points. So that is what you're getting more attached to the result. So when you have to get detached to the result, so my trainer used to say, keep toweling or keep doing your routines, no matter you win or lose the point. So when you get into that habit, you detach yourself from the result, and a true champion detaches himself from the result, and the result comes to him. So I think that is what is the mental aspect of, and I have tried to, it's very easy said than done, but I've tried to do that. You can work on these small habits, you can work on your muscle relaxations, you can work on meditation, you can work on your focus on how long you're able to focus on a certain aspect, and of course there are many mental drills, and thanks to my mental conditioning coach who's also been giving me mental drills.
Okay. That's interesting. So let me take you to, I think you had a win over Tomokazu Harimoto, right?
Yeah.
Which is probably I would say, I would rate it as one of the best victories that you have ever had, right? You are in front of a top 5 world table tennis player. You talk about mental strength. How did you actually think you can actually win that game? I mean, was there anything that you felt that you can actually beat a world top 10 player at that point of time?
Well, certainly it was a big surprise for all of us, and I never went in there thinking I should win or I should, I went in there that I should just make my presence felt. That was my intent there. So I went on full on aggressive. He was totally taken aback. So my coach said, don't forget about everything. We are playing a stronger team. And he said, we're going to have some skills and focus on that, process goals, and just go and play from point one. Doesn't matter. And then I was surprised on what I could bring to the table when I could come out of my comfort zone and just play some unleashing strokes. And I think Japan coach and Harimoto was baffled, and I felt that I could see that that fear in his eyes, and that is what made me more confident. So I think when I started playing the game, then I felt like, he's also a human, he's also succumbing under pressure. And then I just played some amazing table tennis, and I beat him in around 15 minutes straight sets. I mean, that was definitely one of the biggest victories in my career.
So, just to take that conversation ahead, because obviously we have talked about your growth as a table tennis player, you have reached the highest level, but you had a phenomenal run in the ITTF Men's World Cup last year. I think the organization themselves have actually credited you with revolutionizing Indian table tennis in one of those press releases or article. But when you actually went into the quarterfinals with Timo Boll, for example, you took the first game, but he ran away with the game, right? So what is that which divides a player from India with the top 20 in the world? Is there any few skills where there is a gap which you think can be addressed?
Yes, I lost in the round of 16 to Timo Boll. Of course, it was a great run in the tournament, beating Gossi and Groth and then playing the legend himself, who I was actually used to play with Timo Boll against the wall when I was 6 years old, and I'm actually playing him in the thing. So that's a long way. Yes, I would say there is not a difference. I think there is very important to focus on many aspects. Of course, the mental aspect plays a huge role. You can't idealize players. So I think the first part I came in when I started playing the top lane, I've been idealizing Timo Boll or Malong. When you actually face it, you have to stop idealizing them. That took some time for me. I think I have now started to face, when you have seen probably play Timo Boll, me play against Timo Boll, I gave it a fight. I gave it the first game, I gave it all, and he was coming up with a lot of good strategies. Like I think he could really read my game and contain in many aspects. Yes, we have been working quite a lot on the physical part and the skills part. I think the skill is something which separates the top players as well. So I've been increasingly, and to bring out new things into the game. So that's what my coach and Raman sir have been working quite hard on to bring in new skills in the front. And if you can beat a top 5 player, and if you can beat a couple of them in top 20, it's about just bringing in that consistency in the game. And I feel I'm just this far from breaking into top 20.
No, it's amazing confidence. The other question is that obviously, Satyan, I know that you did play the German league and you were slated to go to the Japanese league. So is it important for an Indian table tennis player to better himself? Should they go to a foreign league? And if it's a foreign league, what is your advice to people, to growing table tennis players?
Yes, I am the only breed I proudly could say brought up and played to this level. Training in Chennai with Raman sir, we just brought in this quality in here Chennai. But I think Raman sir was the one who also pushed me to play leagues abroad. Leagues abroad gives you that confidence and it provides a platform. I think it made me a more calm athlete, and to play that kind of pressure matches, that kind of packed stadiums, I think you need to experience that. If you just pushed into that kind of matches directly in big tournaments, it's really hard to come up with your own game. And I think playing those kind of players frequently with them, training with the top quality sparring in German league, I think that really helped me to made me a better match player, I would say. But it's really important to train things. So I was having a good base in Chennai, training properly, and then I started getting executed those kind of skills in Germany. I played that in the German league matches, and I felt playing German league matches definitely made me a better player in the world circuits. And I think Japan league is definitely one notch up with better quality players, and I'll be better quality training. And I hope my game probably the Japan league can give me that extra push to the next level.
So how in a full year, how many months do you actually go and play your game in a German league or Japanese league?
The league generally starts from September till March, so it runs the whole league. But it's practically impossible to play. There's around 28 matches. But we'll have like 15 international tournaments, and then UTT league, and then 3 of domestic tournaments. You will be literally playing only tournaments if you keep playing all the matches. So we'll have to be very careful. So my priority is always for the Indian team and to perform in the world ranking, and that's a priority. But the Japan league is going to give me that catalyst, being the catalyst, and I have signed for 12 matches in the Japanese league. Last year I signed for 10 matches in the German league. So I'll be playing 12 matches. So I'm looking for a window around about 3 months to be in Japan.
Okay, so that gives you enough insights into the game, but not really take you out of the scene for a long
Exactly.
period
It's
of time.
really important. You also have the mental energy and the physical energy, something which you have to really focus on, the travel and everything. It's not going to be easy. So you'll have to have a long run. It's important that you don't get carried away and then go into that line of thought where you sacrifice your international performance and your proper goal towards Olympic and for the Olympic Games and Commonwealth Games further. So.
Mhm. So let us talk a little bit about the Indian setup now. Like you have, I mean, I think you guys have a great team. You have Sharath, yourself, Amal Raj, Monica Batra on the women's side, and many more people. In fact, I mean, a lot of people. I mean, how is the competition like on the Indian scene? Is it a healthy competition that you guys have? And Chennai seems to be a good bet. You have more players coming from Chennai as well.
Yeah. Yes, that's the plus point. I would say. Me and Sharath also had a live session, and you could see we were very friendly, and it's a totally unhealthy environment in our entire team. I would say even seeking a motivation from Harmeet and Ghosh when they came into the national team, that actually motivated me to come into the national team very fast. So that's when I even kept telling my coach, these are my junior teammates, and I really want to catch up with them. So I think it's really important. Keep pushing ourselves, and I keep pushing Harmeet. Harmeet keeps pushing me. Sharath is giving us that motivation. I think it's quite a healthy competition, and we are totally teammates when you're playing as a team. And of course, we'll be a very battlefield warriors playing against each other in domestic events.
Uh-huh. No, so there was one question where somebody had asked. Obviously, taking back to your engineering days, I think you were a very good
there
student.
is never a live without engineering question coming up.
I know, but since see, a lot of Indian sports people still grapple with this issue of balancing between studies and sports and having to choose sports if they have to perform well. So, is there any advice from your side given to them now that you have done this journey, right? Because at the end of the day, you have to be a top world-class player, right? So what is your advice? Should people ignore studies and take this as a priority, or should they balance, or should they decide at the age of 13 that have a rating and say that I'm not good in sports, I have to concentrate on studies? What do they do?
Yes, it differs from person to person. Of course, do not try what I tried, balancing engineering and the sport at the highest level. But I would say it's really important that you choose your career at a very early age, because the competition now the sport has and the requirement of time the professional courses have, it becomes increasingly difficult to travel in two parts. Then you don't become good in either of them. So it's important. I would say 10th standard should be the goal. Like if you ask me personally, you'll have to keep going with this thing. And 10th standard probably you'll be old enough to make a decision on how you're this thing, and you have to be viable. You can't just go around your passion. To be very frank, it's really important to choose your passion, but you will have to also make money. Your parents are more worried. The parents are not against. I'm also supporting the parents. They are not against the children playing the sport. They are just worried about whether he's going to settle down, whether he'll be financially viable and stable. So you'll have to create a good balance, I would say. Studies is very important. Sports, academics has definitely made me a better person. It has given me that stability in mind. It has given me that composure and to make better decisions. But as a professional athlete, it's important you make good decisions at the perfect time. So I think with this, sport now has a lot of avenues. It's not that engineering has better ones. Sport has now better avenues. You're getting jobs. You're getting good contracts in clubs. You're getting other offers. So there are many. You're getting good sponsors from equipment. So I think sports scenario has changed. And if you can make a difference in 10th standard and then probably choose your career from there, you can be more clear and actually become a better athlete or a software engineer.
Yeah. So, was there any point in time in the last 8 years? I think you came from above 100 ranking, and one in a span of few months or so, you actually broke into a top-notch world sub 50 player. So, was there any period where you actually felt like giving up and saying that maybe I have done it enough, I may not be able to pursue this? Was there anywhere that kind of doubt in your mind?
Yes, I think once I finished my 2011 junior days, 2011 World Junior Championship, we won the bronze, and then I had an opportunity to go to Sweden. I could not because I was doing my engineering, and that was the time I felt I was caught in crossfire. That I really wanted to play, but then engineering was taking that time from me, and I was not able to do that. And 2012, I really felt that probably I should go more into studies. I'm doing well. Unfortunately or fortunately, I was also a good student at academics. So I felt probably I'm not able to go beyond this. I won in junior, but what I should to play in the senior, I'm not able to go out, and I'm not able to have good facilities here. So probably in 2012 was the year I felt, I should go into studies. I should look into being a professional, stop looking into professional athlete and probably go out and venture into do some MS or something in abroad or become a software engineer. But things changed drastically in the same year. Go Sports Foundation came in. Sports Development Authority of Tamil Nadu put that belief in me and funded me for Olympics. And I got a job offer from ONGC, which took care of my parents' part.
Very good. Fantastic. So I would like to ask you last three questions. We are running out of time.
Okay. I talk a lot. Apologies for that. But the question
no problem. People would love to hear you, but I think it's just that we need to keep it within half an hour so that and everyone is glued into it. So the first one question that I want to ask you is, and can you just give a quick update on your nutrition? What do you do? I mean, what do you eat, and what do you have?
So
Without going into your secrets too much.
So everyone knows my open secret of Fasten Up, of course. I don't have to keep telling them. But I've stopped very much on the chocolates and the ice cream. I've reduced on that. Looking at my body, everyone thinks I can have a lot of fat, but that's not the case. I've reduced on the fat part. I've gone into more vegetables and fruits and nutritious diet, trying to reduce on the carbohydrates in the rice part, though I'm a big rice eater. So, and I think I've started to have more kind of things which really push me into the strength part. So that's the time I'm focusing on the recovery part. So I'm having this Fasten Up BCAA, which is for the recovery. I think recovery was a big issue for me, and that's been sorted out. And I'm having doing. And I should tell this thing not just because I'm doing live for you, but the best part I like in the Fasten Up is that gel, which is actually takes care of the taste part as well, and then it keeps me going. I used to get tired after 4 games or 5 games. That was always my issue. I could not play the same level in the 7th game, and I think that's improved on. I'm able to now continue playing at the top level. And the Fasten Up recovery tablets, it's been amazing.
Okay. Thank you so much. The next question I would want to quickly go on to is, now that the Olympics has been postponed, how do you replan your schedule, and what would be your goals now?
I've reworked quite a lot, talking with my coach and everything. We have now come up with more fitness schedules, which will take me through 1 year. It was not just close to tournaments, so now we have to plan like an off-season training, trying to push more skills. And I feel it's a good sign for me. Olympics 1 year, it's a gain for me, and I would be a much better player in 2021 for sure. And for me, I will be, in a better position to perform even better in Olympics in 2021. And I've been working on the fitness aspect and the skills aspect, in looking at a 1 year period, 1 year time frame, so that I can improve on that when I'll be completely ready in July 2021.
So how many people from India actually would qualify for the Olympics? Is it 2 or 3?
We unfortunately lost in the team event, so now only a maximum of 2 men and 2 women can qualify for the Olympics. And me and Sharad are having a great opportunity. We almost qualified if the Olympics qualification had happened in April, but I think we still are really good in a good position, and we feel definitely there's a big chance 4 Indians will be going to the Tokyo Olympics.
Oh, great. So the final request, and I would like to obviously end this interaction with you. Final request would be, I see a lot of people from Tamil Nadu, Chennai listening to you. So maybe you should give a message to everyone in Tamil. Tell them what, I'll give a little bit of message, and obviously to the larger TT audience.
எல்லாருக்கும் வணக்கம். அவரு தமிழ் பேசுவாரு நல்லா. சோ அவர் இங்கிலீஷ் பேசுறத பார்த்து தமிழ் பேச மாட்டாருன்னு நினைக்காதீங்க. எல்லாருக்கும் வணக்கம். ரொம்ப நாளா தமிழ்ல ஒரு லைவ் பண்ணணும்ன்றேன். கண்டிப்பா தமிழ்ல ஒரு லைவ் பண்ணுவேன். ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமா இருக்கு. எல்லாரும் எனக்கு இவ்வளவு சப்போர்ட் பண்றீங்க. சென்னையில இருந்து சப்போர்ட் இஸ் பீன் ரியலி குட். சோ இதே மாதிரி சென்னை டேபிள் டென்னிஸை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் ஐ வுட் கால் இட் இஸ் அ சைனா ஆஃப் இந்தியா. சோ அந்த ஒரு இதை வச்சுக்கிறதுக்கு உங்களோட சப்போர்ட் கண்டிப்பா வேணும். எல்லாரும் வந்து இந்த கஷ்டமான சமயத்துல ஒன்னா இருக்கணும். கவர்மெண்ட் சொல்ற கைட்லைன்ஸை ஃபாலோ பண்ணுங்க. கண்டிப்பா நம்ம சீக்கிரமா இதுல இருந்து வெளியே வர முடியும். அண்ட் சென்னை வில் பி அன் எக்ஸாம்பிள் டு த ஸ்போர்ட்டிங் வேர்ல்ட். அண்ட் எல்லாருக்குமே ஒரு நம்ம இந்தியா முழுக்க ஒரு எக்ஸாம்பிளா இருக்க முடியும். ரொம்ப நன்றி எல்லாருக்கும்.
Thanks, Satyan, for this. Absolutely love this interaction. I would have actually gone on for hours with you, but unfortunately we'll get back soon. And all the best and playing with your robo.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's I'm working on, and I'll be sharing more of videos with the robo. Thanks, guys. Thank you, and thank you, Vijay. It was wonderful having a live session with you. Bye. Thank you so much.
Bye. 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 Bye.